Hola amigos, ¿cómo estás? Welcome back to the channel. So, yeah, it's finally finished. Mexico played Chile a few minutes ago. It finished 2-2. Um, I thought it was a good game. Obviously, it was a massive hype going into it. Obviously, with all the players that were called up, all the young players that were called up, players that we've been gagging for in the first team for God knows how long, and they're finally getting their chance. Albeit meaningless friendly, but still, it's still. Most of for a whole bunch of players, it was their first team debut. So, still an important game for the players and for the coach. I mean, I'm hoping Tata Martino paid attention. um, so let's go into the first half. Actually, let's go into the good parts, the positive parts. Um, for me, the positives probably were Acevedo and Araujo. No, Acevedo conceded two goals, but couldn't really do much for the second goal. The first goal, he kind of parried it back into the box, which Ochoa's been doing lately. Um, but he made some outstanding saves. It could have been 1-0 in the first like 5 minutes, I think. So he made two or three outstanding saves, like Ochoa-esque saves, I guess. Um, and I think he absolutely needs to be in and around the first team now. I mean, obviously, we already know that. I think Tata Martinez is the only person in the world that doesn't know that. Hopefully, he learned it tonight. Um, yeah, so yeah, I think he had a really good performance, despite the fact that his defense in front of him were quite poor, in my opinion. The first goal they could have knocked it out for him. The second goal, I don't think they marked the player all that well. Um, but most of the defense was youngsters, so getting their first game or the first couple of games, so it can't really be too harsh. Yeah, and it's a friendly as well. Mexico could have lost this game 4-0. Still friendly. It's still for us to see how good these players are in the Mexico shirt as well as playing together. So for me, Acevedo absolutely needs to be up there now. I don't want to see Cotto anymore or Orozco, um, or even Talavera. Really, I mean, if the World Cup qualifiers happens in January and it's Ochoa, Talavera, and Acevedo, I'll be alright with that. Although the fact that I know that Acevedo is probably not going to start that game, but he needs to be there anyway. All the off the field stuff, all the training stuff, he needs to feed off that. I mean, Ochoa's got a wealth of experience in Europe, in Mexico, playing for Mexico. He could be imparting that on Acevedo, and Acevedo could be absorbing that and moving forward. So for me, he was one of the best players on the pitch. Although conceding two goals wasn't good, but I still think he had an outstanding game. Araujo, oh, bloody hell. So LA Galaxy have been, tweeting a lot about this kid over the last or last year or so. Um, and obviously you see the hype and you see it, and you think, cool, cool, and you get swept up in it. But there's always that part of you is like, hold on, hold on. Um, what an outstanding game he had. I mean, he's probably Mexico's best player in my opinion. There was this tackle he made towards the end of the first half. I'm pretty sure everyone knows. He just runs full help into basically the box or just in front of the box and takes out this Chile player and knocks the ball out of play. Where the Chile player was absolutely on a goal, there was no one else around. He just pelts it so rapid, and just does a flawless tackle and it goes out of the box. I mean, when was the last time we saw a right back do that? Um, yeah, I mean, Chaka, no offense to Chaka, but Chaka's really lowered the standard for right backs for Mexico, and he did absolutely outstandingly. And you can say that this is a rotated Chile side, but like, bro, he needs to be. Right backs like one of the weak areas in Mexico at the moment. Jorge Sanchez, I rate him, although he does have a mistake in him. He has had a couple of poor appearances for Mexico, but I still rate Sanchez. But you stick Araujo next to him, like they can feed off each other. You want that. You want competition for spaces. You don't want Chaka playing every single game because Chaka's not good enough in my opinion. And I would say that a lot of people agree with that, but it was just a breath of fresh air watching Araujo play this game. Rapid, defensively good. centre backs were kind of iffy, but he was quite good, especially that one tackle. I mean, that tackle was going to be in my memory for quite a while. Absolutely amazing. I mean, it got to the point where was like, he's not going to make that. Oh, crap, he actually did. Oh, okay, that was really good. Um, haven't seen that from a right back from Mexico for a long time, so um, yeah, that was really good. Hopefully, and going forward as well, he did a couple of good crosses in. Obviously, he started to play, I think, for the first Jimenez goal. Like, attacking wise, is good as well. I mean, this kid absolutely needs to be in Mexico senior team area. He needs, maybe not playing, but in the squads, training with the first team regularly to get experience. They need to get experience from these players. Um, those two are my standout players. I think Sandy Jimenez had a really good game. His goal was amazing. Um, it went a bit quiet towards for the rest of the first half, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had one more shot that he could have scored. But for me, again, the striker position is a bit iffy for Mexico. Um, again, like, why not have him in the senior team and have him learning from Raul Jimenez? Like, what's the harm in that? I mean, yes, he's probably not going to start a World Cup qualifying game. I think Jimenez still has a spot. Yeah, Jimenez has the right, I think, to play his way back into form for Mexico. Um, and it's not just Raul Jimenez. Raul Jimenez needs players around him to feed off of. That's why he thrived at Wolves for so long. Because Traore and Jota as well, a bunch of these players, Neves, he was all feeding off them. He's not just going to be sitting in the box waiting. He comes deep and gets the ball and is a part of the play before he gets the finishing touch. And for me, the whole of Mexico's attacking play hasn't been good for the last like this year, to be honest. So that's going to affect him because he has nothing to feed off of. He has a good relationship with Chico Lozano, who also has been doing well with Napoli, but those two can't do it on their own. I think Tecatito being out of form has affected the trio. Um, I'm not blaming it all on Tecatito. I'm just saying Tecatito's out of form because he's not been playing for Porto for whatever reason, and I think that's bled into the rest of the front line. And I don't think Funes Mori is good enough. I don't think Henry Martin's good enough. Vega, I think, is good enough, but I don't think he's a striker. I think he's a number 10. So I think Santi Jimenez, get him in there. Like, why not? He's good goal. He's a good goal scorer. He knows how to score goals. He reminds me a little bit of Chicharito, a little bit. Bit of a finisher rather than like a playmaker type player that Jimenez can be when he wants to be. Um, I think he had a good game as well. And there's a couple of other players, I guess. Beltran did all right when he came on. I thought Antuna as well did all right, although he missed. I think he missed zero and got a yellow card. But who else? Cordova. Cordova. I think he's got quality. He's just been out of form since the Olympics. Um, he's done all right with America, but this whole thing about Chivas swapping in with Antuna, I think, it's affected this game. I think both Cordova and Antuna didn't have that good a game, but Cordova does pop up. That's the difference. Cordova pops up, and he popped up with a really, really good assist for the second goal. So, his quality, and, you understand why he's in and around the Mexican national team, but he just needs to step it up, I think. Leads me into the negatives. I think the centre backs were a bit iffy, but again, they were young, so you think that they would improve in time. And this is a game. This is the game where you weed out where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are. So even the players that did poorly this game can learn from this game, if that makes sense. For me, the biggest disappointment was Poncho Gonzalez. I was super psyched to have him called up. He's been outstanding for Rayados. So I'm going to say Real Madrid. But yeah, he was outstanding for Rayados this season. Arguably one of the best centre midfielders in the league this season. Absolutely deserved to be called up for this game, and I think deserved to start. It's just didn't work out for him this game. Lost the ball a bunch of times. Didn't really do anything going forward. The midfield in general was a bit of an invisibility cloak, I guess, in that first half especially. It kind of got a little bit better in the second half, kind of controlled the game a little bit more in the second half. Um, but he was disappointing for me, unfortunately. I fear that that's going to affect him being called up again. It sucks because I've always rated Poncho Gonzalez. I would have him at Chivas in a heartbeat. I'd have him over Molina any day. Um, I think him and Beltran in midfield could be sick, but um, yeah, it's just disappointing for him. I fear now that he's not getting called up again. Um, but you know, he's played for Mexico, the senior team. He can take that away with him. Um, yeah, I mean, Antuna, like I said, didn't have that much of a good game. Been a bit quiet this year, to be honest, for Chivas and for Mexico since the Olympics. Um, I'm just trying to think who else. Uh, Eduardo Aguirre didn't really do anything when he came on. I think Jimenez had much more of a presence in the opposition box. Didn't really have much time though, to be fair, but I think Eric Aguirre had a decent-ish game as well. Not outstanding, but I think he did alright, and I think I'd have him over Gallardo, if I'm being brutally honest. Gallardo is similar to Chaka, an older player that's not that good. And I think Eric Aguirre is probably out on par with Gallardo, to be honest. And I think if that's the case, then he needs to be playing because he has a higher seeding. He can improve, whereas Gallardo, for me, can't. Um, so yeah, all in all, decent game. The highlight of the whole game was obviously Marcelo Flores getting his senior team debut. um, for me, like I said in my Flores watch video, for me it wasn't really about how well he did in the game. Although it was I wanted him to do well. I wanted him to get a lot of minutes. For me, it was getting him on the pitch because if he gets on the pitch, from my understanding, he's now much more in the Mexico camp than he is in Canada. I think now if he wants to play for Canada, he has to want it so bad that he has to make the one time switch. So he's not like he can play for both teams now, and then see what he wants to do more. I think he can still go to a Canada camp and train with them. I just don't think he can play with them unless he makes the switch. That's my understanding. That's what I've read on Twitter. I'm pretty sure that's legit. The fact. So yeah, getting him on the pitch means a lot. This means a lot for him as well, and it means a lot for me because obviously he's an Arsenal player. Um, he's the second player now to represent both Arsenal and Mexico. He just needs to represent Arsenal in the first team now, but that's not too far off. Absolutely astounding to hear the crowd chanting his name. I love the fact that I think most Mexico fans are now incredibly hyped about this kid. I've been ranting about this kid now for about 2 years, and it's finally good now to go on Twitter and just scroll through, and there's just post after post after post about Flores and how good he is and how hyped everyone is for him. Because it's great. Because for me, when he starts playing for Arsenal's first team, is all that's going to come into Arsenal. There's going to be a load of new Arsenal fans, but I'm just kidding. But yeah, really good. That was probably the highlight of the game for me. Yeah, I'm buzzing for it. So, if you haven't watched my Flores Watch video, I've got a series on my channel that covers him and his sisters as well when they were at Arsenal. Um, and yeah, that's a special episode. So go and watch it if you haven't seen it. Give it a like as well if you want to. Yeah, so it was a really good game. Hopefully, Tata learns something from this game. Um, if he goes to the World Cup qualifying and I don't see Acevedo, I don't see Araujo, and if I'm being honest, if I don't see Jimenez, then what was the point? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this game is for Tata to go, okay, this player might actually be good for the senior team in the World Cup qualifying. This player might be good too. Um, it's not just a glorified Molero where, oh, I'm just going to play players that I'm probably not going to play ever. He needs to be studying these players and seriously considering them, especially Araujo and Acevedo. They need to be in the first team in the World Cup qualifiers, in my opinion. Um, and I'm not confident that Tata's going to make that choice. I'm not confident at all, and that's the problem with Tata. That's the issue that I have with him at the moment. Is I don't trust him to make the right decision in terms of lineup and the roster. I think he has his favourites, and I think he's going to stick with them. But I'm willing to be proved wrong, and we'll see in January anyway. So, yeah, let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know what you thought of Marcelo Flores or the players that we saw. Did I miss any players out? I'm pretty sure I missed a player that had a good game out, and a bad game as well. Let me know if I missed any out, for good or bad. Let me know why. And we'll have a chat in the comments like we always do. So yeah, take it easy, guys. Enjoy your days or your nights. I'm gonna enjoy my day now. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time for probably the World Cup qualifiers, because obviously it's the last game of 2021. So see you next year, guys. Have a good New Year's, and I'll see you guys with the World Cup qualifiers in January. Adios.